This Unrivaled league, this 3-on-3 basketball thing that they're pushing, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's crazy. But now they've signed Aaliyah Boston. Now they've signed Lexi Hull, and they're trying to do these things, particularly with Lexi Hull. She's not. I think this league's going to have 6 teams and 36 players, 3-on-3 basketball.
And Kate Martin, he left Kev Martin out.
Lexi Hull's not one of the best 36 players. So they're obviously just trying to put Caitlin Clark bait out here. The whole thing is predicated on, can we get Caitlin Clark to play? And Sports Business Journal is saying there's a 60% chance Caitlin Clark is going to play in the Unrivaled League.
This would be a complete disaster if Caitlin Clark was to join the Unrivaled League. Complete disaster. I think she's better than that. I think she doesn't need it. They need her. But I wouldn't even risk injury or hurting myself or even getting a lingering injury with players that have been targeting me all season long. I wouldn't even bother.
They're going to pay her allegedly more than $1 million. They want to offer her equity in the 3-on-3 league. I don't get it. I don't believe it. I wouldn't do it. She's got enough money. Don't associate, don't involve yourself. She's being pressured and bullied. Do it for the other girls. You know what, Caitlin? You've already done enough for the other girls. You got them flying private. You've made the league relevant. The WNBA has a future because of you. She doesn't owe these girls anything.
They also got the $200 million deal from the NBA because of her. Don't get that confused either.
I say just don't do it. Avoid this league. It's going to be an embarrassment. No one wants to watch Angel Reese play half-court basketball and all the rest of these. They're going to look, a lot of them, similar to Angel Reese, missing a bunch of bunnies. It's a bad look for women's basketball. Just don't do it, Caitlin Clark.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe Kudla, founder and...
Just don't do it, Caitlin Clark.
Boy, the money's good, though. The money's good, but... No, it is, and money matters. Money matters. It's that famous line from The Natural when Roy Hobbs turned down the deal from that corrupt owner, and he
Great movie.
said, hey, I like a buck as much as anybody else. Here's the issue. If Caitlin Clark is petty, and maybe she is, maybe she isn't, I would not play in the league to show how important I am. Because what really creates value? Scarcity. When you make yourself scarce, that will up your value, and it'll prove a point that I am the straw that stirs the drink. The other girls can stir it, but they can only stir it bad, to take a paraphrase from the great Reginald Martinez Jackson. And the other thing is, Jason, I think she's a bit worn out.
That's a good point. It's a good point that Steve Kim brings up. Caitlin Clark not doing this will let the league either sink or swim on its own. Right? See what they can do without her. Can they draw without her? Can they garner viewership without her? Don't, at the same time, wear yourself out by being everywhere all at one time. You don't need to pop out here, pop out there, pop out everywhere. He's right. Scarcity increases value. If you eat the same thing every single day, eventually you'll get tired of eating that, right? There's only so many burgers I can have consistently. There's only so many steaks I can have throughout the week. You got to switch it up to create that scarcity. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's just the sense that I got. With a lot of pressure on her, leading Iowa to the finals, and then immediately jumping into another league.
She does need a break.
She gets played tougher than anybody. She gets blitzed all the time, picked up full court. In my view, if she's going to do this, I would do it down the line. I would take the off season to get a little bit stronger, condition yourself, and just rest. But as of right now, I kind of agree with you. I would right now just walk away from anything Unrivaled.
Yeah, sit out the offseason, get better, work on her game, work on that floater, work on that midi, get in the gym, put on 5 to 7 pounds of muscle. Don't be muscle bound, but put on some muscle weight. Come back next year, new, improved Caitlin Clark 3.0. I mean, we saw what she did with the Olympic break. Imagine what she does with a whole entire actual offseason. Imagine what she does October, November, December, January, February, March, April. We got 7 months of practicing, 7 months of honing our skills, 7 months of playing golf, 7 months of getting better. I mean, Caitlin Clark will come back next year a complete new beast.
I think she's going to wait. I think this is something that could come into play for her. She gives me every indication that she wants to become the WNBA player that she's destined to be. She would want to win a championship. She would want to do better in the playoffs, see her team advance and become relevant in that respect before she's going to try to go down an alternate path. That's the impression I get from her. She sort of has the Peyton Manning mindset in my mind. And so that takes me away from thinking, I think this is all clickbait. They're just kind of leading it out there, getting some of her teammates involved. Caitlin Clark, I don't think will be suiting up for this league, much to your happiness.
Yeah, but I do think there's pressure. If she doesn't do it, it's like, oh, she thinks she's better than us. We were trying to do some Breanna Stewart and Ephesia Collier. We were trying to do something, and she wouldn't support. And Collier's been one of the players that's been very supportive of Caitlin Clark. And again, appears to be best friends with Lexi Hull on her team. And then Kate Martin has also, the former Iowa teammate, plays with the Las Vegas Aces. She's agreed to play in this. But sometimes you got to be the bad guy. It would diminish Caitlin Clark, in my view, to get involved with this league that I'm telling you there's going to be more memes, more jokes about over social media. It's not going to work. People don't want to see this. The men are failing.
Yeah, who wants to see 3v3 basketball? People don't even want to watch the big three. I mean, I know it's still on TV. I know it hasn't been taken off yet, so clearly there is some type of audience. But by and large, who wants to watch that? Right? If NBA games are suffering in viewership, clearly the big three number is going to suffer. If WNBA viewership is only giving you 400,000 on the non-Caitlin Clark games, imagine what this Unrivaled League is going to get you. It's not good.
With the big three, there's no appetite out here to watch people play 3-on-3 basketball. We're just developing an appetite to watch women play 5-on-5 basketball. Why get out here with a bad product and associate?
Just now developing. That's a good point, Whitlock. We are just now getting a feel for women's basketball. We are just now starting to sit down and tune in to the WNBA. Why overwhelm us with a whole nother league that's coming in? Folks, some issues people have about wrestling is that there's now too many options. There's too much wrestling. You got Monday Night Raw. You got Tuesday NXT. You got Wednesday Dynamite. You got nothing on Thursday, but then Friday we have SmackDown. You have Collision. You have Rampage. You have wrestling every single day of the week. There's wrestling. Fans can only watch so much. Fans only have the patience to watch so much. They only have the ability to consume so much. There are only a certain amount of hours in a day. To Steve Kim's point earlier, scarcity drives value. If you only are watching 2 wrestling shows a week, boom, 2 days a week, I have wrestling. The rest of the week, I need to sit and wait for my favorite wrestling show to come back on. But if there's the same show, a continuous storyline every single day, eventually you get tired of it. This is sporting. This isn't a soap opera. This is sporting.
Associate yourself with something that's going to be this big of a flop. Somebody in her camp needs to come up with some injury that she has and why she can't play.
Fake injury?
Have mono, something. Somebody needs to come. Oh, I caught COVID. I can't play. Somebody, I got pregnant. I can't play. Somebody needs to come up with an excuse to get her out of this.
Yeah, here's the issue. What type of arenas is this league going to be in? High school gymnasiums? Without Caitlin Clark, and specifically...
They're saying they're building a production studio for this, but I think they're going to use the convention center or something along those lines, and they're just putting infrastructure in a convention center. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Caitlin Clark games would be about the only things that would draw. I mean, let's go back here to the WNBA. There were times when teams would have to rent out bigger arenas specifically because of one player and then go back into the match box for the next game. I'm with you, Jason. The 3-on-3 with men, it's okay. I support the business. I support the enterprise. But as someone that barely watches the NBA, if ever, I never said to myself, you know what, I want to watch 3-on-3. This is like the National Football League going through its season and them trying to start a spring football league, which has been done for about 20 years now. None of it has really worked. And I don't mean the USFL in its original form. I'm talking about the XFL and the other stuff that they've done. So I don't even see. Yeah, I don't know where in the world there's appetite for this.
The analogy is, Steve, it's the NFL Pro Bowl flag football game. And
right.
That's what this is. It's not real football. This isn't real basketball. And it doesn't have, like, the NFL, because their players actually are stars and have a following.
I mean, who even wants to watch 3v3 Olympic ball? Nobody wants to even watch 3v3 Olympic basketball, let alone regular season basketball.
They can pull off this garbage flag football Pro Bowl stuff and draw some people. But this here will not draw anything. It's going to draw laughs is what it's going to draw. It's going to make women, it's just a bad idea all the way around. It's a money grab. TNT and the other idiots that are financing this, it's.
I don't think TNT's financing this, folks. I've said this numerous times. I don't think TNT's financing the Unrivaled League. I think they're getting paid to produce the Unrivaled League. I don't think they're coming off any capital, to be honest with you. I think they're taking equity, and in turn of taking equity, they are giving the Unrivaled League their production equipment, their production staff, their infrastructure that they already have set up to record something like this. I don't think TNT gave them anything other than their infrastructure. There's no money there. And then especially when they come to the table, hey, is Cailtin Clark in the league? No. Is Cailtin Clark in the league? No. Is Cailtin Clark in the league? No, but we have Chelsea Gray. Who do you have? Who? TNT is not going to come out of pocket and give them a significant money amount. I would be surprised if they give them anything of monetary value.
It's a way of, I guess, just handing these women money, and maybe that's all this is. It's just some sort of feminist money laundering scheme.
Jason, I believe this is going to be interesting. This is where I don't want her to play at all, because the very same media outlets that'll claim that the ascension of the WNBA and the revived interest and the increased television ratings and everything else was not about one person. When this thing fails like New Coke, they will blame the absence of one person. The same one, Cailtin Clark.
And if she gets involved and it fails, they'll blame Kate. Well, I guess Cailtin Clark's not as powerful as we thought.
Yeah, no matter what, they're going to blame her. If it succeeds, it's not because of Cailtin Clark. If it fails, it's because of Cailtin Clark. The players already don't like her. Imagine how they feel about her knowing that she's getting paid fucking 15 times what the rest of the league is making. Let's say a random player has 0.5% ownership. Cailtin Clark comes in with 30% ownership. Once all of these details leak, the target on her back will grow ever so much. The target on her back will continue to grow the more she's involved in something like this. Let the old guard of the WNBA, let them have their little Unrivaled League, let them have their fun, and you, in the meantime, practice, get better, stay in the lab, get in the weight room, so on and so forth.
I guess Cailtin Clark isn't the big deal that we thought. Look at this.
And imagine even the ratings. Imagine more things that Cailtin Clark has. They already. Well, Cailtin Clark's games get 900,000 views for the ratings of the 3v3 league. All the other games get 30,000 views for the 3v3 league. That jealousy is real, folks. Trust me, jealousy is real.
Failed league,
especially in the W.
She needs Asia Wilson and everybody else to be successful.
As a marketing director for the new league that I might be, I would suggest we get Shaq to be in charge of what uniforms they're going to wear in this league, because that could be a completely different element we're not thinking about.
Well, then I'd go make them play. There'd be more interest. Well, I don't know about WNBA players.
Oh, boy.
And those outfits.
Oh, boy.
I was going to make them play. Make them play beach volleyball. But I don't know if I want to see that either. Yeah, I don't think I want to see that.
I got you guys. Don't worry, I got you guys.
Help us grow.
And there it is. WNBA. Unrivaled.